Hello, Internet. Welcome back to the Weirdo Watchlist Podcast, the podcast that's slightly off, where we talk about movies that are also slightly off. I am your host, Mikey. That is your other host, Sam. And
Hello.
today, we're doing a very special 50th episode special.
50th episode. Can you imagine?
I can't.
Can you imagine making it this far?
It took us a while, given our, sporadic schedule, but...
We have been doing this podcast for, 2.5 years? Maybe 3?
I think definitely 2.5.
Time is an illusion.
Yeah.
But we've watched a lot of movies in that amount of time.
Yeah.
And I've had a blast. So 50 episodes. We're here.
Oh, yeah. 50
We're finally
episodes.
here, as if it's like a mark to hit. We're finally here, episode
We did it.
50.
Most podcasts do it in a year, let alone 2.5, but whatever. Who cares?
We do things our own goddamn way. We're weirdos. What can I say?
Yeah, we're weirdos with no producer and no budget.
Yeah, damn right. I'll produce the hell out of this thing. So what are we doing today? We're going to be ranking all 55 movies that we have watched. There's 55. Am I correct with that?
Yes, that's what I have.
I know this is the 50th episode, but there's been a couple that we've kind of doubled up on.
Yeah, a couple double feature episodes.
Couple double features. Was there a triple feature at one point?
No.
Or was that no? Okay, we're not too crazy. That being said, I want to start with saying that I didn't watch one of them.
Yes, you did. Yes, that is true.
Might as well start with that because to get it out of the way, I didn't watch. What the hell was it even called that I didn't watch?
The
Day of the Locust.
Yeah.
So
that's
you'll
default.
Talk about that when
Default
we get there,
bottom
but
one.
Yeah, 55th place for me, The Day of the Locust. Wish I would have gave you a chance, but I sure didn't, and I haven't had the interest to follow up. I don't think you said it was very good, so we'll get to that when you get to it. But
I'm not saying I'm gonna trash it.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, what do you have then in last place? You've watched all 55.
I have seen every movie as a good podcast host.
Good host.
Should
You're
do.
a good boy.
Good host.
Well, what did you put in 55th?
55 is the movie Vulgar, if you remember that one about the clown.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I hated it a lot. It was just very distasteful and just tonally all over the place. And coming from that View Askew universe with Kevin Smith, I know he didn't direct it, but one of his friends did, and this is his screenplay.
Right.
Certainly made something, and I really just hated a lot about it. Moving on.
I remember you hating that one.
Yeah.
Okay, 54th place. I put Boarding House, which I had a hard time even remembering that we watched this one.
That was one of the first ones we did.
Yeah, and I hated it, and I actually recapped the episode recently, and I was just like, oh yeah, it actually made me, watching me talk about how much I hated it made me remember the movie. Forgettable, poorly shot, really boring movie, terrible acting. It took forever to get through. It's definitely early in this podcast where I was like, I'm just gonna watch everything with good intentions, and
yeah.
I really tried to watch this one with a grain of salt, I guess, but there's nothing to like here. So it's not the type of thing where it's so bad it's good.
Yeah,
you can't even really make fun of it. It's just bottom shit.
It's also my number 54, and I do feel just about the same way. I feel like it'd be better served in a big crowd setting, but that means I would have to go rewatch the movie, which I frankly don't really feel like doing anytime soon. So I also thought this movie was kind of dreadfully boring. What's your number 53?
53, I got Last Days by Gus Van Sant, probably. Which I just watched his new movie, Dead Man's Wire. Decent, by the way. I put this movie very low on this list because I didn't like this, but his other movies, they hold their own. This one is the one that depicts rock star's last days alive before ending his life. It's totally based off Kurt Cobain. It's not just obvious. It's the point, I suppose. It is very quiet. It has very little dialogue. It's trying to make you be introspective, but it's just it did nothing for me. It didn't connect. After like 25 minutes, I literally just wanted it to be over. So, I hated it, and it was like I'm watching this because I have to for the podcast, which is like I probably wouldn't have hated. It's nothing about it is like egregiously that bad.
You
So it
just
shouldn't be
didn't
this
connect
low,
with it, yeah.
but because I had to watch it, like I self-inflicted this this shit on myself. Basically, that's probably why I put it so low. So, last days.
So my number 53 is Serenity with Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
This is, I think, towards the end of when we did the wheel. We were like retiring the wheel by that point. And
yes, the wheel.
The option gave us Serenity, but it was, I think, in reference to the Joss Whedon Serenity. And I didn't want to do that, so I elected this Serenity instead, which is much funnier. I think this movie is very funny, despite it also being very, like, just the way the movie, like, falls apart on itself in the back half.
Definitely.
So it's a very, it's almost a comfort watch with how serious the movie takes itself and then just hits you with that stupid fucking video game twist.
Yeah.
Very funny stuff.
Bro, yes. Oh man, 2019.
Yeah.
There's a few 2019 films on this list. All right. Well, what's next? 52.
Yep.
I put Ring 0 for 52,
okay.
and I honestly have very little to say about it except for that I loved The Ring, the Gore Verbinski remake of the. Is it Japanese?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. And then this is a prequel to that original Ringu movie, and it just shouldn't exist. It was as bad. It has no flair of anything that the original or the remake of Gore Verbinski's has going for it. So it's just like watching a lesser version of something, totally forgettable, pointless. That's it. Pointless.
My number 52 is Tiptoes, also with Matthew McConaughey, which this movie.
Oh wow!
Yeah, this movie also very funny, but in a different sort of more unfortunate way because you can tell it thinks it has good intentions, but then it's also got Gary Oldman standing on his knees the entire time.
Yeah.
Another very funny movie, I think, but one that is also just so strange in every sort of respect. Not even in like a weirdo perspective, but just how did this happen, sort of thing.
Who let this happen?
Who let this happen? Yeah.
Was it Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
Is it your fault?
I think
2 in a row, Matthew. What are you doing? That's funny. What is next? 51.
51.
You rewatched this recently? Ogroff.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Freaking Ogroff, or the Mad Mutilator, which I think is what we thought it was called when we spun it on the wheel.
Yeah.
But anyway, that movie, what is it? Is it
French.
Giallo or
it's French. It's not. It doesn't count as Giallo. That's like strictly Italian.
I see. So this is French.
Yeah.
Same fucking thing. Either way, the interesting part about this movie is the back story stuff of it. Obviously watching it is one thing, but like it's just made by a guy who was working, in a fucking video store, and he wanted to watch a certain type of movie, so he went and made it. And is it good? No, it's not, but I think that's interesting, so at least it's got that going for it. But other than that, I'm not gonna rewatch it like you did, so I'm guessing it's a little higher on your list.
It boosted up quite a bit.
Really? Maybe I'll have to rewatch it. There's definitely going through this list, ranking these again. A lot of these I'm like, damn, I need to rewatch that. Maybe I'm like thinking like, okay, I'm thinking a lot of nice things about these movies that I have so high. Like 51 is pretty low on a list, and there's movies that are higher on my list that, Ogroff. It's probably more rewatchable, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
So I guess, yeah. Anyway.
My 51 is a recent one we did, Kangaroo Jack, which is another one where it's like making of is hell of a lot more interesting than the actual movie itself, where the movie does just fall on its face. You can tell it was just gutted and mutilated into like a kid's movie so they could like make some profit off of it. I won't get too much further into it because we did just talk about it. So we can
did.
best fart joke at the Kids' Choice Awards. I'll leave it at that.
That's true. And was it deserved? I don't even think so. I don't think the joke was funny. I think that was maybe the worst joke in the movie, just because it was about a fart and it was a very anyway.
Yeah.
I digress.
Number 50.
Number 50 is actually Kangaroo Jack for me.
Let's keep this conversation going.
Yeah, might as well. I gave it a solid chance because you picked it, which I'm still a little bit like.
It was a heads or tails
situation. Mikey should probably not pick movies for like 2 weeks in a row for this transgression of his. Because I gave it a chance thinking, like, maybe there is some nugget of like fun that's in there. Because sometimes these kid movies that are really kind of schlocky studio bullshit have some kind of soul kind of deep hidden within them. And if you watch it, with the right mindset, I tried with this. It's Kangaroo Jack. It sucks. Okay, it just fucking don't even bother with it. Number 50, Kangaroo Jack.
My number 50 is Valley of the Gods, another very early one we did. A movie that thinks it is saying a lot, and I can tell it's trying to say a lot, but it also doesn't know how to say any of it in a way that is like remotely engaging or interesting. I think like there's certainly like a lot of stuff and ideas like baked into it, but none of it makes any fucking sense.
Absolutely.
I think at one point like a giant baby stomps over like fucking Phoenix, Arizona or something, whatever the town is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was real or not, but it really just fell on its face pretty hard.
Definitely. I will not rewatch that one. Yeah. Valley of the Gods. I had no interest at all.
49.
All right, 49. I put Serenity. So I think our lists are going to get kind of convoluted here because a lot of these really bad ones are going to be coming up at the same time. But Serenity, the movie about a fish named Justice. It's so bad. It's honestly watching it for the first time and only time, by the way. I will not rewatch this one. I was giving it the chance that I give a movie, and it was fine. It was kind of like a mystery crime, like, there's some kind of sex appeal, a little bit too much sex appeal at some points. But then because of the twist, like you had mentioned earlier, it's all a video game, like everything else of the movie that maybe had a glimmer of like being okay even falls flat on its face. And it's just like, oh, that just ruins, like, it just makes everything so bad. So like watching 70% of it before it gets kind of crazier towards the end.
Yeah.
I was giving it a chance, so I wasn't giving myself really the opportunity to like point and laugh at it. And that's a bummer because of what you said. This is the type of movie that is very funny. I think you maybe said that. Did you say that? Anyway, it's very funny, but I wasn't watching it as that. And if I were to rewatch it, I bet I could, especially like you and me in the same room watching this or something, fun. Me rewatching this in earnest, never gonna happen.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that's 49 for me.
49 for me is Hercules with Lou Ferrigno.
Yes.
Very bland and unengaging, I think. Sword and sorcery type. It does a lot of like the just cliche 80s fantasy stuff. Big beefy men and big beefy swords. It just didn't really like hit for me, and I do sometimes enjoy a good like fantasy movie that's got like lore, like something like Jason and the Argonauts, but that also has like that movie's like time period it was filmed in to like benefit.
Yeah.
Compared to something with like probably less budget behind it and Lou Ferrigno. So did not care a lot for that one.
Fair enough. That's 49. Moving on to 48. I actually put Valley of the Gods, which we just talked about. It stars Josh Hartnett. You didn't mention that. That is a plus, at least.
That is a
little higher on my list.
Yeah.
Josh Hartnett is fantastic in it. He's being Josh Hartnett. I don't know. But like, this movie's confusing, and it feels like it's so beautiful. Like so many of the shots and things are like so grand and beautiful, and it feels like it's building up to say something, Navajo gods and all this like deep lore stuff, but then it just literally says nothing at all about anything, I don't think, as far as I can remember. So
Yeah.
definitely low on my list. It feels like if Megalopolis came out 10 years before Megalopolis did. That's Valley of the Gods. Let's stop talking about it forever.
Yeah. 48 for me is Ring Zero, which, yeah, back to what you said like earlier, it does just not deliver on anything that the original Ring movie did, or anything like.
Totally.
I think like Gore Verbinski's came out like a couple years after this one, after Ring Zero.
Really?
Yeah,
That
they pumped out these Ring movies like in Japan like crazy, but
yeah.
That still being said, it doesn't have any of the good qualities of any of those movies. So it just falls flat trying to establish, I think, the lore, but part of what makes those movies like actually so scary is just kind of the more supernatural bits of it. You'll learn about it in those movies anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no good. Number 47.
Skip it. Number 47, I put Tetsuo 2, The Body Hammer, I believe it's called.
Yep.
Which was one of our double feature episodes, right? So obviously I watched Tetsuo 1 right before this. And then I watched this one and I hardly remember jack shit about it. I remember like trying to figure out the plot of the first one so much because it was so crazy and weird.
Yeah.
That this one it's just a rehash kind of the first one. It's like a pseudo sequel, right? Like it's kind of the same thing but different, and it just lost a lot of the spark that the first one had. So it's like watching them almost back to back. I think I maybe day after day, whatever, however I did it.
Yeah,
it is a big disservice because this one is not anything compared to the first one. So yeah, I'll talk more about the first one and I can tell you why I like that, but everything like the first one, the diet version, not as good, bigger budget. They just went to shoot the fucking same thing again and somehow lost it in translation, I think.
Yeah. My 47 is Dagon, H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon, which I know we both had our I think similar issues with it, but
yeah,
just like a bad lead actor where you just don't care that he's being like hunted down by these fish people, and like all the fish cult stuff that is pretty cool, but you're just watching like the worst fucking guy go through and figure it all out, and you just really wish he would just get the fuck out of town and let a cooler guy do this. That's like a lot of what my issues stem from. Is very unfortunate.
Yeah, it makes it hard to watch for sure.
Yeah. Number 46.
46, a movie I don't hardly remember, Angel Dust. I also had to look this one up again because I was like, what even fucking was it? And it's like a crime movie. It's sometimes I remember mostly about this movie that it was green coded, kind of like The Matrix.
Yeah.
And as I was flipping through it to remember what the movie was like, 'cause there's a free upload on YouTube, thank God. When I was flipping through it, I was like, "It's not as green as I remember." There's some green scenes, very Matrixy, but overall the movie's forgettable. I didn't really care for it. I'm sure you'll talk more, but I think you liked this one a lot more than I did.
Yes.
Also, it's worth mentioning, I watched a really, really shitty copy of it on a rip on YouTube, and there's a lot of dark scenes and none of them looked good. So and the audio was probably bad. I gave it a disservice for sure. So
we were both very tired when we watched it too, and then talked about it. I think we're both struggling to keep ourselves up.
And it's a sleepy movie, kind of.
It's a very
I almost guarantee that I would probably enjoy watching a good copy of it, full intention, not sleepy. I bet I would be much higher on the list, but for now, 46.
My 46 is Tetsuo 2 the Body Hammer, and this one is disappointing. It doesn't have any of the same manic low budget panache and style as the first one. It's very diet Tetsuo 1.
Yes.
So we can move on to number 45.
45. I put. Is it Kumiko the Treasure Hunter?
Kumiko the Treasure Hunter. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me just read really quick here the kind of synopsis, because I think that's what sells it. Frustrated with her mundane life, a Tokyo office worker becomes obsessed with the Coen brothers movie Fargo that she mistakes for a documentary. Fixating on the scene where stolen cash is buried in North Dakota, she travels to America to find it. Okay, I don't know if we spun the wheel on this one, right? We spun the
Yes.
wheel on this one, probably.
Yes.
That sounds great. So my hype was through the roof because that sounds fantastic. Most of it's pretty boring, and it's following it, and it's kind of quiet, unassuming, not a big like adventure that I thought it might be from that. I love like I wish it played into like what we know of cinema a little bit more, because the idea of like a cult classic movie like that being misinterpreted is fucking awesome. But it
Yeah.
doesn't really play into that much. That's what it's about, sure, but I don't know. My excitement kind of ruined it for me. Maybe it's good with a different set of expectations, if you know what I mean.
My number 45 is The Day of the Locust, which the first time we talk about it properly, since you didn't watch
tell me about it.
It's an enjoyable, like Hollywood sucks adventure. Kind of like the darker, stingier parts of Tinseltown. Fucking insane ending where like Donald Sutherland's character, whose name is Homer Simpson, by the way. That's a detail. That's a crazy detail. But he like fucking curb stomps some kid, and then an angry mob ensues and like rips him apart at the end of the movie. It's an insane, like, explosive ending that is definitely like the big reason to watch it. But yeah, it's like low on my list because like again, like it does like fill in the gaps I like about movies that are like about how like Hollywood sucks while also making it sound pretty awesome. But those shoes have been filled for me for quite a while by like other better, more contemporary movies. So this one was just all right for me.
Fair enough.
44.
I'm glad I didn't watch it, I guess. 44. Okay, yes, The Fountain. Darren Aronofsky's The Fountain, which this is the one that he made after Requiem for a Dream, which was the one that he made after Pi, which those two movies are some of my favorite movies maybe ever. So I picked this one, or did the wheel pick this? I feel like this is a Sam pick.
This is your pick, yeah.
This feels like a Sam pick for sure. The movie sounds so ambitious, being about like these interconnected stories of love and loss and like almost the meaning of life. It feels like really grand, but then it just doesn't really add up to anything that great, and it was kind of a disappointment. Because this is like exactly my type of shit, on the paper. It's just like something got lost in translation. It maybe didn't nail a like final conclusion, maybe an unsatisfying way. So Darren Aronofsky's The Fountain.
My number 44 is Observe and Report, which I double featured with Paul Blart Mall Cop, which is very interesting because those two are very much the yin and yang of Mall Cop movies. Where this one does have like a bit of a meaner spirit, but again, it's an R-rated Seth Rogen vehicle. That's to be expected. It does the Mall Cop stuff better than Paul Blart, but Paul Blart does the big action, save the day, save the mall stuff better than Observe and Report does. But it is still enjoyable enough. It's got Ray Liotta's like pretty funny in it. I remember Jesse Plemons shows up. It's still it's an easy 90-minute watch, and I can't ask for I can't expect anything more out of it, and I got what I got.
Product of its era.
Yep.
Okay, that was 44 for you.
43.
All right, 43. The Christopher Walken crime, New York gritty drama, King of New York. I was pretty excited, I guess, going into this. This was playing at Trilon around the time that we watched it, I think, for the podcast. So I'm like, well, if it's good enough to play there, I'm probably going to like it. And it just didn't hit. It was fine. Really, it's like a Robin Hood type story,
Yeah.
where he's the big bad crime boss, but he has morals, so he's going to kill the bad crime people. So he's the good crime. And that's cool concept and stuff, but none of the characters feel like anything to me, so it was forgettable. I
Yeah.
don't really care to watch it again, but I can appreciate that other people like it a lot. So, yeah, too bad for me. No, I didn't.
My number 43 is The Immaculate Conception of Little Dizzle,
Yeah.
which was your pick, and you wanted to do In the Spirit of the Wheel, which you succeeded in that.
Yes.
And it is, like, again, like in the same boat as Observe and Report, where it is just an easy watch. You get what you're expecting out of it, and it's plenty of its weird shenanigans. And just like a fun cast of characters to boot too. It is like pretty enjoyable. I certainly didn't get as much out of it as you did, because I know you like this one a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, it's quite a bit later in my list. Yeah.
I still enjoyed it.
Fair enough. That was number what? 43?
43. So now we're on 42.
Wow, that's a lot of movies. 42, I put Tiptoes, which we already talked about. Gary Oldman just looking uncanny as hell.
Yeah.
He's pretending to be a small person next to Peter Dinklage, which is also just awesome and funny. Funny that it's happening, not actually funny. You could definitely watch this as something to point and laugh at, but as like anything else, pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom. That's Tiptoes.
42 for me is Alice, the Czech,
Yes.
the Russian bloc. I don't know where. I think it was like Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia, for when this movie was released. Yeah, Alice in Wonderland story with scary ass puppets. This movie's definitely falls more into like enjoyable as like a novelty of like Cold War era European animation. It's definitely pretty impressive stop motion animation throughout, and it all looks super gross too. Like everything looks like dirty and like just fucking Eastern Bloc fuck ass movie. But I still enjoyed it. It is quite the treat, I'll say.
Yeah, I will say.
Number 41.
41. I put Hercules, which you had already talked about. This is still low on my list. I mean, 41's not great out of 40 or 56, 55 movies, whatever. But like, I really fucking like this one, and it's just like grand in like a very cheesy way. Like, there's this big like 10-minute intro where it's like in space and talking about the origin of Earth, and it's like really, which doesn't fit like some of the rest of the movie where it feels sometimes very cheap and corny. But Lou Ferrigno is just literally just like, look at this big strong man. Let's film him and then do some really extravagant set work and costume stuff, and I appreciate it for that. And honestly, I could rewatch this one like late at night. I wish I had it on VHS type thing. Like, this is like the perfect 80s sci-fi vibe. It's a cosmic sci-fi movie, and it doesn't seem like that on the surface, but it certainly is cosmic. If I had to give a word to it, cosmic would be it. So, and there's some really, really good boobs in the movie. So,
all right.
not even shown, just under a dress. Fantastic. Good for them for really having the greatest costumes out there. So, Hercules 1983 version.
My number 41 is Slacker, Richard Linklater. Very simple movie about just being like, just following one conversation to the next. Basically, those quick small moments you have like with a stranger on the street, very, very nice and easy movie. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Again, it's very, like, it's his first movie, so it is very first movie budget, or it is just filming whoever he can. But yeah, he's still enjoyable.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Number 40.
Right. 40, I got Repo the Genetic Opera, which is the opera that feels very deviant art.
Yeah.
Now that I'm trying to think about recapping the movie, I don't think I can. To be honest with you, I remember
there's a lot of theatrics
watching the movie.
Yeah.
A lot of theatrics, and it's just like it's a soap opera, and it just like kind of takes you along for this like big dramatic journey. But with the music, it just works, and the music is so corny and just it like really fully goes for its opera aesthetic, and I appreciate that. I understand why weirdo kids in my high school watched this and like loved it, and like I watched it once when I was, I don't know, 16, 17, and I thought it was awful, but like it's not really for me. I'm not that type of person, but like now watching it and trying to appreciate it for what it is, like I was able to do that. Still very low on the list because of it's just a shitty, corny, really badly acted opera movie, but at the end of the day, I appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah. My number 40 is Chopping Mall. Roger Corman production. Teens break into a mall, get their tits out, and then get killed, by the robot security. And it's not much deeper than that. It is just
fucking not the deepest movie.
Yeah, it's just nuts to butts nonsense, I guess. It's not action. It's not like really based in horror, but it is just a nuts kind of movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Easy enjoyment, and it's 76 minutes.
Oh, we love that.
That's huge, right? That's enough reason
That's
to like
huge.
Put it like further up on any of your watch lists. It's
honestly,
a short movie.
with any of these movies, a lot of them are like I think you said novelty, like.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, Chopping Mall is a good example of that. So a lot of these movies being shorter is always a blessing. And any of them that are novelty that are 2.5 hours or more, I probably already talked about because that's a bad thing to do. Yeah. Don't make me sit through a novel like Chopping Mall at 2.5 hours would suck ass. Like that would be a slog. But perfect, 70 minutes. Love that. We got 39. I put Freddy Got Fingered, which was your pick, your little baby, Freddy Got Fingered.
Baby boy.
I like this movie. Honestly, it's higher on my list than I expected it to be because the rewatch was tough for me. I love like the first time you watch this movie and you get that like I can't believe Tom Green was able to make that scene or this movie in general, but like any specific scene you could say I can't believe he did that and did this as a wide release full budget movie. Once that novelty wears away, there's nothing left for me. There's no plot holding things together. It's just going to the next bit to jerk off a cow and then moving on. Like it's funny, but like as a rewatch is rough, and I think I'm ranking it so low as this specific rewatch. Maybe not as a movie as a whole, because I appreciate that it exists and is the weirdest fucking thing out there. But as a rewatch, it's got to be low on this list. I just didn't enjoy rewatching it by myself. You know what I mean? It's just maybe not the vibe for me. So.
My number 39 is Uncle Boonmi, Who Can Recall His Past Lives.
Yes.
Very slow movie. I think this is like the slowest we've had. Under 2 hours, but certainly keeps going. But again, I don't think that's a very bad thing. It's very deliberate and very meditative, and don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, totally.
But certainly a movie to like get yourself like to fall into, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to just like put this movie on and like click with it right away. You kind of do have to just like get the movie to I guess it's hard for a movie like this to pull you in, but I guess you just have to like fall into it yourself.
You kind of have to meet the movie at its level, which is slow, and you really gotta like get your vibration on that movie's level to really enjoy. Otherwise, it is just kind of a slow, long, drawn out poem
Poem
of sorts.
poem
A
cinema.
slow poem,
Yeah.
slow poem, not even like But
Number
I'll talk more
38.
there. 38 for me. I put the Red Squirrel. Or is it just called Red Squirrel? Now that I'm looking at the poster, the Red Squirrel. Either way, Spanish drama movie. About I'm guessing most people probably haven't seen. This is like some of these movies. Like I assume a lot of people have seen or like observe and
Yeah.
report things like that. The Red Squirrel is not one that I would have seen or probably maybe even heard of if it wasn't for us spinning the wheel like that.
Yeah.
This one is about a guy who's gonna like kill himself, and then he saves this girl who like crashes off the bridge that he was just about to kill himself on, and she gets
Yeah,
amnesia.
she gets amnesia.
She gets amnesia, and he like fabricates this whole life of them together and this relationship, and then he starts living like that. But actually, she's and you could tell this during the movie. She's fucking with him. She kind of knows. Well, you find out she has this crazy ex who's looking all over the fucking place for her. Once he kind of really gets into the movie, the fucking it gets going, and I really I enjoyed it more that when I started thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Red Squirrel. It's like a fucking soap opera, uh, and I liked it way more than I kind of expected to. I guess.
Yeah. 38
Crazy
for me is Kumiko the Treasure Hunter, which
Huh.
you mentioned. Again, I'm also kind of like in that same boat, but I was a little more nice to it. I definitely like appreciated what the movie gave to me. Again, also being like really into the whole hook about like her like thinking Fargo's real and that there's a briefcase of money out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I definitely enjoyed what the movie like presented. I do wish it again like kind of like a bit more exciting given the treasure hunter part
True.
of the title, but it's definitely one I still like admire, I guess.
Yeah. Do you remember the end of the movie? Like she finds the treasure, kind of, but it's like dreamlike and
Yeah,
like
because
she might be dead.
I think that's the implication. Yeah, she like dies out there.
Yeah, that's a cool way to end this movie,
Yeah.
and that's like the vibe I wanted for the whole movie. But yeah, I agree with you. That's kind of middle of the road. Really, kind of we're getting into kind of the stuff that like the opinions are just kind of meh about.
Yeah.
Miko is one of them.
Number 37.
37. I got Dagon, if you
Yeah.
will. They pronounce it Dagon in the movie, but everybody everywhere says Dagon. But I'm pretty anyway. Regardless, I could be even wrong. I don't really remember this movie that much. It's kind of forgettable. It's good. Like, is it 90s? When did it come out?
Yeah, in 2001.
It's got some fun practical effects. It's H.P. Lovecraft. It's dark, but as a movie, it just doesn't really come together. So
Yeah.
kind of middle of the road for me.
My 37 is The Fountain, a movie that I appreciate its ambition. Wish it kind of like stuck the big thematic finale that Darren Aronofsky like thinks he hits with his movies. I still enjoy it. Again, there's a lot of spectacle going on between each narrative thread, especially with like the one where he's bald and in space.
Yeah.
But big heavy on the themes, and it's definitely shooting for him
Certainly. Sometimes
And-
feels a little pretentious, but
a little bit, but I still enjoyed it a little bit.
Good.
Number 36.
Number 36, I put Tusk, Kevin Smith, which is funny because I haven't even got to Vulgar yet. So this is actually on my list before Vulgar. I thought I was going to like this. I always kind of wanted to watch it, but never really got around to it. So I used the podcast as an excuse to watch it,
Yep.
which is great. Um, but it's fine. It's like body. I love body horror. There's a lot of body horror on this list, by the way, in this watch list. This is a good one, and Justin Long, freaking awesome. I could watch him all day. So I certainly didn't have a bad time, but it didn't leave any really lasting impression. And as far as Kevin Smith movies go, I bet it was fun to make, but that's the most I can say about it, I suppose.
Yeah. My 36 is The Red Squirrel, and kind of just, reiterate what you said, is a very solid sort of like crime drama between two people who think they know more than they both realize.
Yeah.
Interesting watch, mainly only because we didn't have very good subtitles.
Yeah, that's right.
We had to rely on the YouTube auto subtitles, which then at some point I think got so far out of sync by like 5 minutes, or maybe that was like a different copy that we found online.
Yeah.
So made for a very interesting watch, because again we also have to guess what's happening based on like context clues, visual storytelling.
You can just tell it's dramatic, though. It's like
yeah. So if there were to be like a proper like re-release, I would definitely appreciate it a lot more. I
think there might be, when I was doing things for this. I think I saw maybe it was on Mubi, maybe Tubi, one of the Ubis, maybe. Okay, regardless, Red Squirrel, not bad. Not great.
35.
35. Heart of Glass, which is Werner Herzog. This is my first, I think, narrative movie of his. I've watched some of his documentary stuff, like Grizzly Man. Heart of Glass is slow. I think as far as you said, another one was like the slowest one. This might be the slowest one in my personal memory, because some of the scenes where I was just like, this is just a nature shot for like what felt like more than 2 minutes, but was probably a minute and a half, but some of it just felt very, very long. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's you watch the whole thing, and it's a good encapsulation of the emptiness and fucking absurdity of, I guess, being so obsessed with a material. If that makes, the ruby glass, was that what it was?
Yeah, like the special glass they like only that village can make.
Yeah, and the plot feels so thin, because so much of the movie is not telling you anything. It's just showing you a long drawn out bits of people fighting in the bar and things like that. But like, there definitely is a narrative there, and I appreciate his filmmaking style. I'm glad I watched it, but it's still pretty fucking slow. So
my number 35 is Scanner Darkly, a movie that like,
yes sir,
I definitely enjoyed on it, like an animation standpoint. It definitely looks very strange. On top of like it having this very conspiracy-driven narrative, it's an enjoyable one. I don't appreciate it as nearly as much as like its fans do.
Yeah.
But I definitely like it.
Didn't know it had a big fan. Die-hard fans.
Hey, there's always someone.
There's always someone, for sure. For sure. Okay, 34. I have Alice, which we talked about. The Alice in Wonderland stop motion puppet terror nightmare. It's truly like, that movie is a nightmare just filmed. It is somehow they went into that little girl's nightmare and filmed what she experienced, because that shit is wild. I mean, every creepy puppet, the sound design, everything is just working together to be like this uneasy feeling, like non-real. I mean, Alice in Wonderland as a story by itself is already uneasy. I was very, very scared of that cartoon, the Disney one, growing up. So like, it already has that to it. But then you're going this dark, twisted, uh, still innocent but terrifyingly nightmarish version. And I appreciate the hell out of it for that. I had a buddy lend this to me on DVD. So that was my first time watching it, and then I watched it again for the podcast. So uh, I appreciate it for what it is. Honestly, if I saw it on the shelf on DVD somewhere, I'd probably pick it up
Yeah.
because what an interesting little capsule of art. Somebody made this. Somebody with a fucked up brain made this thing, and it came out. There's a singular vision, and it's Alice.
That's what communism does to a motherfucker.
That's
My
right.
number 34 is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I find this movie very funny. Um, I remember laughing quite a bit more than I even anticipated for this movie being like, again, just like, B monster movie, parody type, very goofy, and a lot of its jokes certainly haven't aged terrifically, but I still found them to be very funny, admittedly.
Totally.
It's a funny movie, I think, and it's definitely one that I enjoy thinking about every time it does pop into my head.
Yeah.
Number 33.
Number 33, I have Observe and Report. Yeah, this one was good. This one actually surprised me because I thought I was going to dislike it, and I don't. It actually taps into something a little more human than I expected it to, with the very unlikable character, Ronnie Barnhart. uh, he's terrible. But I think it really taps into something kind of unique that I didn't really expect. I also love Anna Faris and anything she's in, and she's funny as hell in this movie. This one, I feel like this one had an ending that kind of fizzled out. It kind of fizzled out towards the end, but well, not with the streaker, I suppose.
Yeah.
That part, but tonally and as a whole, kind of third act maybe is not as strong, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed it way more than I expected to. So I'm glad. I'm glad you suggested it.
Yeah. My number 33 is Personal Shopper, another very quiet, meditative movie about grief and ghosts and stuff. Kristen Stewart's pretty great in it.
Yeah.
And I enjoy what this movie's doing. Can't don't have too much else to say about that.
Yeah. Totally.
32.
All right, 32. Sonatine. I'll put Sonatine as my 32. A lot of people love this movie.
There's
a lot of love for this movie.
Me too.
I liked it a lot more kind of later, kind of maybe probably after our conversation even. But the first time watching it, I just was not maybe in the mood for it, and this being, I think we've said it a couple times, a tone poem. Just like it's just a vibes movie for real. Yakuza playing on the beach, I think. It's kind of what I remember.
Yeah.
But like overall, the first time I watched it, it just didn't hit. So it's just not very high on my list. But I appreciate it for what it is, and maybe one day I'll watch it and be in the mood for it.
Yeah. My number 32 is Last Days. Another very like quiet tone poem. I definitely enjoyed being able to just like sit with the movie and just hang out in that environment. I don't know, like wherever, like what is it, Seattle? This movie takes place around. I don't know. I don't remember. But
at least that's where Kurt Cobain was.
Yeah, sure.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, I enjoyed the stillness this one brought, and just being like as quiet of a movie as it is. When you again like being pitched that this is like a loose Kurt Cobain before he kills himself, I was expecting something a bit like more on the nose, but then with this, I did appreciate it keeping itself like as low key as it was.
It certainly doesn't tell you anything. It makes you feel whatever you feel.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's so high on some people's lists and so low on, like, it's very divisive is what I noticed. Like other people share my opinion, but a lot of people really like it, and I feel like you just like it does so little in telling you what he is feeling, like telling you straight out. It's just trying to show you, and if you can capture that, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Last Days, obviously very close to the bottom of my list, so glad it worked for you though.
Yeah. Number 31.
31, Chopping Mall. I really like to mention the practical effects in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Really fun. The robots were fucking awesome. Just the setup is not terrible. Like it's like, obviously it's not groundbreaking, but it's fun. What if the security were now robots, and like
The robots
if you did that,
malfunction. Oh no.
yeah, and that kind of thing being in the 80s, like obviously before robots are or what they are today, or even in the 2000s, like seeing these big clunky robots just doing a murder was fun. It's a good novel time. I will probably rewatch it some random Halloween season because it would be easy to do. It would be easy and enjoyable, and I don't think I would ever have a moment where I'm like, I don't really want to be watching this. The whole thing is probably just fine. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
easy background Chopping Mall.
31 for me is Gummo, which I kind of like. I equate to being kind of like the white trash cousin to Slacker, where it is just about the people in the neighborhood, people in town, following them. There is no like big grander plot other than just following these couple kids around their like white trash town. Kind of in the same way where it just like takes your hand, takes you through, shows you the sights. I enjoyed that.
Definitely.
Number 30.
Number 30, Vulgar. Vulgar. We talked about The View Askew, another Kevin Smith adjacent or produced. He's actually in the movie, which is crazy. A movie about sexual assault, to put it lighter than I wanted to just for a second there. A very heavy movie, and though I think it takes that big swing and that doesn't really work entirely, like it is so not unexpected but visceral, and like you don't see that kind of earnestness with something so disgusting and vulnerable. Brian, what is his fucking last name?
Brian O'Halloran.
O'Halloran? Okay.
Yeah.
He's not a great actor by any means.
He's good in the Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah,
and that's
he's fine in them.
Yeah.
And they really, really push his acting, to its limit here, which is not very, like, again, it's not very far, but he's trying his goddamn damnedest. He's a sexual assault survivor dealing with it, and then the movie kind of falls off into this, blackmail situation, and it kind of loses a little bit of its, I should not say charm. This movie it's not a charm about it.
Yeah.
But it did kind of work for me. So it's Vulgar. We never have to talk about it again if you don't want to. If you want to forget it ever happened, that's your prerogative.
I don't hate it that much. Number 30 for me, keeping it Kevin Smith, is Tusk.
Nice.
Movie that I had been told all over the internet was like, is one of the most fucked up movies ever. And then the other half saying that it was just total dog shit. So I had no idea what to expect. I just knew I wasn't going to be like on the TikTok side where I thought it was like some sort of like hidden masterpiece. But I enjoyed it a hell of a lot more than I thought. And again, I think that is Justin Long understanding what is being delivered from Kevin Smith, and that is be a walrus. It's a movie. I think in the opening credits, the writing credit goes to like based off an idea from Kevin Smith's podcast, and this definitely feels like that.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. That kind of sums it up well.
Yeah. Number 29.
29, I have a Scanner Darkly, Richard Linklater. I love Richard Linklater. I really do. This movie's not that bad. It looks like it looks bad, kind of. The
Yeah.
rotoscoping, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It certainly is a style. It's hard to watch a full length movie of that, but as a narrative thing, I don't mind it. It does some interesting stuff. It's just it's a big swing that just doesn't really. It's a base hit. Let's just call it a base hit. It's fine. It's not my favorite Richard Linklater by any means, but what an interesting attempt.
Sure.
Yeah.
Number 29 for me is Fritz the Cat. Ralph Bakshi's Fritz the Cat. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Also, like, hearing, like, this movie's, like, X-rated and it's racist, and then you're just like, oh, yeah, it is X-rated, but I don't know if the racism accusations land, considering, like, the crows in the movie all represent black people, but they're also, like, the coolest and most, I feel like, respected characters in the setting.
Yeah.
I know we talked a bit about that, but I did enjoy kind of like, again, like following Fritz around as he like finds himself in front of like new and different characters and then blows up some sort of like electrical plant at the end.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a fun movie I enjoy.
Definitely.
I know I want to go through like the rest of his movies, and I think I would definitely rewatch this when I get to that point.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know his other movies, to be honest with you, so maybe that's something I should look into as well, if they're worth watching. All right. God, my next one is another Richard Linklater. You just talked about it a little bit ago, Slacker. I'm surprised you liked Scanner Darkly more than Slacker.
I think, like, thinking about it, like, in retrospect, I definitely do think, like, I appreciate Slacker more than a Scanner Darkly, but
it's funny because like a lot of this ranking is like our experience in watching it at that time, and like some of these things that should be much higher, like you're saying, like you probably appreciate Slacker more, but at the time watching it, it was a lower, it was a lesser time, and that's just, you just gotta call it like you see it. So that's beautiful. But Slacker, what else more is it? There's not much to say about it. Clerks was inspired by it, so and you can see that, and it is inspiring in that way. I can totally see, like, you can make a movie like this and make it interesting, and it's the simplicity of that is slightly the reason that it's so high on my list and so appreciated, I think, by so many people, because it's so simple. Richard Linklater can just follow people around, dialogue shooting, and he's now fucking perfected that. I mean, his newest Blue Moon or whatever is just more dialogue, but he's still just ripping it on all cylinders. He's so good at it. So Slacker is such a good, like, time capsule of, like, this is the beginning of, like, his style that he will eventually perfect. This isn't perfect, but I can see where it all kind of stemmed from. So 28 Slacker.
28 for me is Repo the Genetic Opera. Yeah, going back to what you said, I do have a lot of fun thinking about this movie, especially, again, in its big, grand theatrics and its fucking hot topic. Set design. It is a movie I enjoyed the hell out of while watching. I just found it super enjoyable, and I do get where all, like, the goth theater kids are coming from when they talk about how cool this fucking movie is. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I could rewatch it, I think, like, at any point, like now too, if I really was in the mood for it. And totally. I might like it even more on rewatch, I think.
Totally. It'd be a fun one to, like, almost know if you were so into it, like you went to like a cult movie showing of it, like a midnight showing of it. Like, that would be really cool. I'm not to the point. I've only seen it like kind of 2 times, I guess. But, like, imagine, like, the cult following behind this.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. Yeah. Kind of fun.
27.
I got Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which is it's a musical. I did not know that going in. It's a musical.
I forgot it was a musical too.
Yeah, right.
There's like 3 songs in it.
Yeah, but that fucking intro song, "Attack of the Killer
Oh
Tomatoes,"
yeah,
it's just so good. I mean, that doesn't even make it seem like a musical; it just feels like a theme song.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's just bit after bit, and I appreciate movies that do that. They don't do them as much as they used to, but they went they made a funny movie, and I can appreciate it. It definitely didn't age. Some of it didn't age well at all, but like that's
Man,
funny to laugh at as
some
well.
of those
So
jokes fucking killed me.
yeah, it's like almost funnier. The joke's not that funny, but the fact that the joke happened in the 70s and is now, I'm seeing like the way that it aged makes it so much more shocking and funny.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got that bit to it too. So, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, more surprising, doesn't doesn't offend me any. So I'll watch it any day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn all the fucking songs from it.
My number 27 is "Cheatin'" by Bill Plimpton, which we can let you gush about when we get it to when it pops up on your list. But this one I definitely appreciate on like an animation standpoint. I think it's very unique in that way. On top of also just like having like such a unique roundabout plot about like like is my wife cheating on me? I'm gonna cry about it. Like they got like the whole like what was it like body swap machine too, so they can like cheat on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one that I definitely enjoyed watching and just like having it just like wash over me this big like I remember like almost silent. I think I don't remember there being like a lot of dialogue, so it is just kind of like flashing
noises,
in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Number 26.
26, I have The Celebration by Thomas Vinterberg, aka Festin, as I see a lot of people want to call it by its original, translation. What is this called? Remind me, the style of movie.
Dogma 95.
Thank you, Dogma 95. So I didn't know anything about that before we just pick this movie. Didn't pick it. I think this is a wheel spin, perhaps.
Yes.
Regardless, I didn't know anything about that. So learning about that was really interesting. And then watching any movie that's gonna purposely try to follow guidelines like that is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I don't think it's always the most appealing way to watch a movie, but it makes things feel very real, which is kind of fun. But what this movie's about is wild. I mean, the big bombshell of the kind of the crux of the movie of calling out somebody for their abusive behavior in the past.
Yeah,
is that is really 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 good. The rest of the movie, this is fine. It was fine. It was cool as like a piece of cinema history, but more than that, nothing that as just a movie to watch. Not for me.
Yeah. 26 for me is Heart of Glass. Another one where I do enjoy the pace it just like drags you along with. Very like atmospheric, very observational in a lot of the kind of like tone setting, again with like the extended nature shots and like extended sequences of like them making all the glass, and then you get to the actual plot, and then it's just back to more like extended scenes of just taking it all in. I enjoyed I enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah, I'd like to rewatch it too. Number 25.
25, I did the 1958 version of The Fly. We did the double feature of The Fly movies.
Yes.
I did. This one's not as good as the body horror one. Obviously, this is a very different style. I mean, the 50s. I like this era of movies, so I can appreciate.
I've
like,
got a
when
soft spot
are
for
this good.
This
yeah, it's a good era of like studio film. And I like it for that, but it's just fine. I don't know. I like the remake a lot more. We watched both of them, so like always doing that. The lesser one is going to be a little bit lesser on the list just because of it, but I would think this is like a great movie. I wouldn't give it any demerits really. So
yeah.
Yes, sir.
25 for me is King of New York, a movie that is definitely very cool. Christopher Walken, Lawrence Fishburne, very cool stuff. I would definitely like to rewatch it, having it been so long since we've seen it.
Yeah.
But it's honestly one that I did really like upon seeing it. It's been, fucking 2 years since I watched it, so memory, not the best, but definitely a very cool, slick movie.
Yes, sir.
24.
24, I have Personal Shopper, the Oliver Assayas movie.
Yep.
He made Irma Vep, which I saw at Trilon. It's one of those, like, I just was not busy, so I went to whatever movie they were playing.
Sure.
And that movie, I feel like, shaped a lot of how I watched this one, because I feel like they're both similarly slow. But this one being about a girl whose twin brother dies, and she made a promise with him in life that if either one of them died, they would send a sign from the other side, right? I think that's such a cool concept for a movie, and then this movie just plays on that concept and rides like the fucking intricate feeling of that grief and that hopefulness and that maybe, and then intertwines it with this story of what her job is, which is a personal shopper for this rich, famous, probably famous.
Yeah.
I don't remember if she's famous. Regardless, uh, it kind of feels like a ghost story in a lot of ways because she's looking for these signs. I just really like his style uh, in his filmmaking, and I think Irma Vep hit it really well, and this hit it almost as well. Not quite, but like I can appreciate this guy's style big time.
Yeah.
So
24 for me is Dress to Kill, Brian De Palma's, I guess, Loose Psycho remake, which I also very much enjoyed, again, despite it also not aging the best.
yeah.
This one also hasn't aged very well, but I think definitely pulls itself out of that sort of like distaste by also just I think like being able to like make a case for itself in the end, and then also just being a very slick and tight sort of like murder mystery, I'm being chased and stalked by a murderer type movie. Yeah. Classic De Palma. So I enjoyed it.
Definitely.
23.
Beautiful. 23, Southland Tales, which is the Donnie Darko guy made a movie. I knew nothing about this when you picked it, and looking into it was almost necessary, I feel like, before watching. This movie makes fucking zero sense, but as much as Donnie Darko makes sense, and Donnie Darko works, this movie is 23 on my list, and that surprises me, because I'm putting it in there because truly I enjoyed myself, but the movie's not good. I mean, there's so much to hate about this fucking movie, and the fact that you haven't had it on your, it's higher than 23 on your list is saying something. So, but like, there's something to love about it. It's there's the same energy that Donnie Darko kind of taps into is in this, but it gets so convoluted. You can tell that they just made mistake after mistake with probably cuts and making like the first half of this a graphic novel apparently.
Yeah.
The history of the movies is more interesting maybe than the movie, but there's a really cool musical sequence to a song that's by the Killers that just comes out of nowhere for no reason. Justin Timberlake is mouthing the words. He's the best singer of all time, and he's just mouthing the words of this shit. It's a good time. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it, and I totally understand if you hate this movie, if anybody hates this movie, but it's got the charm. Don't deny it's got a little bit of charm with the fucking machine gun at the fucking beach, bro.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's Southland Tales.
My 23 is The Exterminating Angel. I think this was like episode 1. This is like the very first actual wheel spin we've had.
Was it? Okay, yeah.
And I enjoyed this movie a lot. Definitely like following this like cast of like rich characters being just unable to leave their house was very engaging, especially as like they start to like run out of options for like food and water, um, and just be, yeah, like I love a good bad time type of movie where I'm having a like not having a bad time because I'm having a good time watching others have a bad time.
Yeah. There you go.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. Number 22.
22. I have Dressed to Kill, the Brian De Palma one we
Yep.
just talked about. Not my favorite De Palma, but still definitely De Palma. I mean, this is just as good as like Blowout. Um, they're kind of interchangeable in my mind for some reason. I don't. They're just similar. But Dressed to Kill, it like you said, it's very tight. It's a solid runtime of. God, I don't even fucking know.
Hour 45.
Hour 45, and it just doesn't waste any time. Everything is so stylized and kind of sexy. It's got this like sleek cityness to it, and definitely a good time. I would watch it again. I have not rewatched it since, but and if something, I remember it not fully aging so well, but not being nearly like Sleepaway Camp. Do you know that movie?
Yeah.
Not being quite that intense, but still kind of being in the same vein of like, okay, that really wouldn't pass today, but
Yeah.
the villain, trans people being the villain is kind of uh, a fun pastiche, I suppose. So, what do I know? It was the 80s.
Yeah. My number 22 is Survive Style 5+, which is
Yes.
not loose anthology because all the plot lines do end up like connecting, but you got like 5 plot threads, all of them like crazier than the last. And this one was just an absolute blast. I think.
Yes.
It was a ton of fun, and again, yeah, each individual plot thread is like more unique than the last. Especially as they start to like slowly like converge onto each other. It's a lot of fun. Number 21.
Number 20. Well, oh, I almost skipped one. Suture.
Yeah.
Suture. I'm surprised that this is as low as it is. I really was surprised by this one. It plays on this confusion of, like these people are supposed to be twins, but the actors look nothing alike.
It's it's the Allstate guy and some white man. And
yeah,
like,
these
are twins.
Oh, you guys look
twins,
exactly
yeah.
the same. That is such a fun, like that carries the whole movie for me. Like playing with that, like playing with perspective and the black and white of this movie is just beautiful. I really was surprised by this movie. So it's definitely one of those that I'm so glad we watched for this, and I would recommend. I think to anybody as like a kind of like a different type of movie. There's nothing quite like Suture, I don't think.
Yeah.
So
21 for me is The Fall, which we just talked about last episode, so I don't think we need to go too hard into it. Other than I certainly enjoyed the big theatrics of the storytelling in the movie itself, as well as the character dynamics outside of that story too.
Yes.
Number 20.
Exterminating Angel for me. Louis Buñuel, famous fucking guy that I can't pronounce his name. I haven't seen, I don't think, any of his other movies. I just see his name everywhere.
Yeah.
I liked this movie a lot too. This was so early in our thing, so again, I was watching everything with like kind of bright eyes. I feel like oh, this is just a really really random movie, but people are talking pretty highly of it. It's from an acclaimed director. I don't ever catch Spanish movies from the 60s, so
yeah,
like a chance to watch one is cool on its own. But this movie being about so I swear this is based on another story or something, because I remember the story of all these people at this dinner table who cannot leave. It's just inexplicable. So that's what this movie's about. These people can't leave this room, this house kind of, but this room they're just unable to leave. Like you step out of the room. They're like, I can't. It doesn't show you really. It's just you just believe them. You just believe them that they can't leave the room, and the mystery just carries the whole movie. The whole thing's fun. I had a really enjoyable time watching this one. Also due for a rewatch, for sure.
Yeah. My number 20 is Ogroff. It's all the way up here.
Here we're finally here.
Yeah.
Tell us why. Tell us why you love Ogroff.
I just really enjoy being on this movie's wavelength. I think being able to follow again, just like this filmmaker just carrying himself, a woman, and a camera through the woods. Found it very authentic and very earnest, especially on rewatch, as well as just how this movie just chooses to just not make any fucking sense whatsoever. I don't know if that's a writing fault or just shooting shit for the sake of shooting shit, you know? Like, just, I got an idea, let's film it type beat. But I've certainly enjoyed it. Hell of a lot more in rewatch, too. And it's a movie I really do enjoy. I love it. I'll say that. I love it.
Have you seen it more than 2 times?
No, just the twice.
Just the 2, okay.
Yeah. Number 19.
Number 19, I got Uncle Boonby, who can recall his past lives.
Yeah.
This one I like this one. I watched this one at like 6 in the morning, which I think was the right move because like it just like had this like early morning quietness to it. Especially them sitting around the table. In the architecture of I guess I don't even know where this is.
I think it's Malaysia.
Okay. But like just the open airness of like the dining room and just like the stillness of it all. And then the biggest, most memorable thing is just the spirit with the red eyes, like the monkey spirit, whatever. That thing is terrifying. And it's not even doing anything terrifying. It's just there. This movie is pretty slow, and it feels like a journey of death and like kind of acceptance and that moving on to the next chapter. And I really fuck with things like that, so I think this movie was kind of up my alley. And it didn't say something that I really wanted it to have some like big grand like aha moment, but there is nothing. It's just a quiet journey. And like I appreciate it for what it is. The best part of when I watched this movie, not this movie in general, but when I watched this movie specifically, is that my girlfriend came out of the room at like 6:30 in the morning, waking up tired as hell, comes and sits next to me on the couch, and it's that quiet scene of them around the table right before the thing with the red eyes is standing like near the staircase.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this exact scene, but she came in like 2 minutes before the red eyes came in. So she came in and just watched this really quiet movie. Probably wasn't even reading the subtitles, was just kind of feeling the vibe. And then that thing showed up. And I swear to God, she goes something like, is this real? Like, what the fuck is that thing? Like she was like so like caught off guard. And I was like, that's exactly how you should feel. Because that's kind of how I feel. And I know that I'm watching a movie and I knew that thing was going to be in it. And I still feel that way. So the movie really taps into that really well, I think. So Uncle Boonby, number 19.
My number 19 is The 13th Floor, which has only been getting better as I've been thinking about it. I definitely remember really enjoying and appreciating the movie as like fun, unseen 90s sci-fi movie, but as I've sat with it, it really does just keep getting a little bit better and better. With each passing day having since seen it, I am very excited to give it a rewatch.
Yes.
Vincent D'Onofrio is fucking fantastic. And it is shockingly a very rock solid sci-fi movie where I thought it was gonna feel very dated in its going into the computerisms.
Yeah.
But this movie actually like pulls it off and feels very self-contained and well established with itself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Number 18.
Number 18, I put Fritz the Cat. This movie is kind of cool. I watched it on my phone, which I do not like to do normally, but it still like had this emotional resonance in there. I mean, it's a fairly serious movie for how crazy batshit X-rated some of the shit gets.
Yeah.
It's still saying some like, you know, normal ass things about racism. It's not just doing these things for comedy. I mean, the Crow characters, like you said, I mean, they're an earnest depiction of like this really stereotype, like real deep Southern black like type of person, but it's still like a type of person. Just because there is like a big stereotype to it, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, and it handles that. I think you kind of said, kind of maturely, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
It's not like punching at them.
Right.
It feels like it's like representing.
And I feel like if you can watch it and kind of get that like undertone of seriousness, and like this is kind of like a counterculture, like peace, love, and fucking happiness, like down with the system, down with cops. Speaking of cops, the two pig character cops are my favorite part of the whole movie. They're so stupid and hilarious
Yeah.
and like over the top, and like it's such like an anti the man movie. Um and for that I love it.
All right. So my number 18 is Suture. Another one that definitely like surprised me early on when we like first started doing this. I actually like watched it twice because I think we had to like delay a week.
Oh yeah.
So I was
Sure.
like, fuck it, I'll rewatch it again just so I got a refresh, and I enjoyed it more the second time. And again, just like playing with the whole like identity crisis, Dennis Haysbert's going through,
Yeah.
and again playing with like uh, sort of Christ, what's the word? Something about like setting expectations on like reality. God, what's the fucking? I don't know, but it doesn't expect you to like the movie expects you to like buy into it and does it very well, especially given like the casting of like the two leads and the noirish angles it takes.
Definitely.
Number 17.
Number 17, Tommy, which is The Who, The Who's rock opera. They had an album of the same name, and they made a narrative movie of the album. I knew none of that going into this movie. I just knew that it was about the Pinball Wizard, which I knew that song. Don't get me wrong, I knew that song, but I did not know that this was like a full album, like a narrative album. I figured it out within like a half hour. Like, this all sounds like The Who, kind of. Obviously, there's other people singing it. So that was an interesting way to watch this, first off. But Tommy's really fucking good. Like, the
Yeah.
music is great. I started listening to some of the songs off this album a lot since watching this. So it at least opened me up to that. The movie's a little long, but it's just wacky. It's a big. There's a lot of big ensemble pieces, and yeah, it's Tommy. I loved it.
Yeah. Number 17 for me is Meet the Feebles. Just a big, stupid orgy of puppets and just debauchery. It's very fucking funny, I think. It's
Yeah.
certainly one of the more shocking movies you could, like, introduce to anybody. Especially, and then following it up with this is a Peter Jackson movie. He made this before Lord of the Rings and being the biggest director of the early 2000s.
Yeah.
It's certainly a movie I like telling people about. My fucking brother loves this movie. He has not shut up about it. I've been able to contain myself.
That's awesome.
Number 16.
Number 16, the immaculate conception of Little Dizzle. I don't got much more to say about this. We just watched it not too long ago. I really liked it. It's kind of low budget-ish, under the radar. I feel like I had never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Just randomly stumbling upon it, but so a little unknown, but it definitely has a heart to it, and I like that it takes certain things seriously. Like, essentially, the movie is about men having a miscarriage of a fish out of their ass, and some of that they take very seriously. Like, these men are actually, you know, emotionally affected by this living thing that they kind of helped create being dead or not being able to survive. And I thought that playing with that was really cool. I also love that it was shot in Seattle.
Yeah.
It was very, very Seattle-ish. It had a Seattle vibe, and I love that vibe. So I definitely recommend watching this. If where did we watch this? Was it Tubi?
Tubi.
Fucking shout out Tubi. They have so many good weird ass movies. Like,
It's the
that you
place
just
to
would
be.
not see anywhere else.
Yeah.
Truly, Tubi. I can't believe it's free.
My number 16 is Angel Dust, which is a movie I definitely really enjoyed upon seeing it, even though I was also very sleepy. But
Yeah.
I feel like that and the low quality upload you mentioned kind of adds to its sort of like nightmarish, bad dream vibes. It doesn't feel like I'm watching a nightmare unfold, but it definitely feels like I'm in a dream that isn't
Yes.
going right. So it's definitely one I would like to rewatch too, in a more alert state.
Yeah.
But it's definitely one that I was able to enjoy regardless. Number 15?
Number 15, I have the original Tetsuo the Iron Man, which is I had to watch this one twice. I don't know if I watched it the same day or day after day, but like, narratively, this movie is just not really hold your hand with trying to explain anything. It's just like a bombardment of visuals and body horror and cyberpunk. Uh, I like that the fucking high pace, almost screaming that this movie is doing at you. I mean,
Yeah.
it is like the most visceral attack on your senses, and they you can tell that they did it with this earnest, like, low budget. This was a passion project, and they didn't hold back. And I feel like, especially after talking and watching the second one and talking about that one, like, this one is such a singular vision that it shouldn't ever have been tried to been recreated. It's so
Yeah.
interesting as that, and even though a lot of it doesn't make sense, and it's just so, like, so much of just an experience, I still really fucking loved it.
Yeah. My number 15 is Martyrs, which I thought, again, like hearing about that one being like the most fucked up, I will say, is like certainly like expected a bit more, but still
Yeah.
was given like something that is still genuinely quite unforgiving,
Yes.
especially in its sort of like plot narrative of like trying to like I guess like yeah, become a martyr, turn someone into a martyr before they die, where they see God, see the end, what's back there.
Yeah.
Um, and I certainly like I don't want to say enjoyed because it's fucked up, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely got a lot more out of it than I could have expected. It surprised me in that way that I thought this movie had as much going for it as I had led myself to believe. Number 14.
Number 14, I put Survive Style 5 plus. Uh, Survive Style. This movie is. I don't even really remember how these movies came together, because I remember there being like the 5 separate stories,
Yeah.
and then you mentioned that they all do connect, and I'm like, they do, don't they? But like, it's just this movie was just so unexpected that it's so high on my list. I would like to rewatch it, but it is so stylized. Like, the name of it makes it is perfect. I mean, it has a style. Each segment has its own style, but the thing of the whole kind of has like this punk aesthetic almost. Uh, and I really, really enjoyed how crazy this one is. Just the name, and like, the movie's just so weird in the best way. Like, this is the type of movie that this Weirdo Watch List thing was kind of I mean, bread for. Like getting a random ass movie I would have never heard of, and it's solid. It's completely solid. I would watch any day a friend was like, let's throw this on. I would throw this on. So yeah, pretty high on the list.
14 for me is Eraserhead, the David Lynch iconic piece of movie. Where I definitely, it's considering how high it is on this list. It's not my favorite Lynch, but it's still, I think, really good in its like absurdities and its dreams. Yeah. Especially like as I've seen it like a handful of times now. I definitely like first time seeing it was like, what the fuck? Oh. But on rewatching, I'm actually genuinely able to like appreciate what the movie is like trying to tell me about fatherhood and how babies are gross, but also like, you know, gotta protect the Eraserhead baby at all costs.
Yeah.
And it's also just kind of hilarious at times too. There's a lot of pretty funny moments.
Yes.
I think at one point, like the baby just starts laughing fucking maniacally for no reason.
It's a messed up mind that guy had.
Number 13.
Number 13, I have Meet the Feebles, Peter Jackson. I'm glad you showed this one to me. I wish we could have watched it together because it would make this movie even better. But mostly surprised that this movie narratively just fucking works. Like the whole thing is just like, obviously it's Muppets for adults basically, but there's actually a story behind it, and it keeps you entertained throughout the whole thing. You know, just because like there's a crazy scene that depicts sexual assault or drug use, you're like, that alone isn't enough to make a movie. You know, this and other things have done that. What is that other puppet movie?
Happy Time Murders.
Thank you. Yeah,
that's
that
a movie
one
I fucking despise. Yeah,
and that's what I felt like this could have been, but there's actually substance behind it that makes it a decent movie. So like it earns some of that like depravity. So I think this is so high on the list just because it's such a wild time, and the fact that Peter Jackson can make such a good movie means that even this wild concept can work really well. Yeah. So I really liked watching this one.
My number 13, here it is, Southland Tales. A movie that I've only grown more and more appreciative over the rewatches. I remember watching it for the first time and fucking hating it, but every other, like, I've seen this movie like 2 times since then, and I do just appreciate how just fucking wild of a swing it is on its own. Especially, like, I think I watched it, for the podcast, I watched it, like, the day after the election, which felt very kind of cathartic, seeing, like, what you know, like, Bush 2008 would have looked like. But, I enjoy reveling in the absurdity of this movie, even when none of it makes any fucking sense and it is just a clusterfuck of ideas. I think it's kind of awesome in that way. That's why I love it so much, because it is just a fucking insane movie. It's pretty funny to laugh at and just to get wrapped up in.
Yes, sir.
Number 12.
Number 12, I have Cheatin', Bill Plimpton. I think maybe the only Bill Plimpton I've seen. His style is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he's unique. There's no character, like, it's his style. And the fact that he made an entire feature length out of like this story, there's no dialogue. It's essentially, it feels like a long music video sometimes. But it just really worked for me. I really liked it. I watched it. It was a hot ass summer day. I had the windows open. Breeze was coming in. Like, it just hit me so fucking perfectly. The story itself has like this emotional resonance without saying anything. You can feel, like, especially the guy's character. I remember some of the scenes where he's just so heartbroken, and like, sometimes it plays it up for corny laughs, and he's just like, woo! Yeah. Sometimes like you truly feel like you feel all of these complex emotions, anger, guilt, all of these things without any dialogue, and that is so impressive.
Yeah.
So I rewatched this one once at least, but I love it, and I think it's fairly short, easy watch.
Yeah, another
72 minutes.
70-ish.
Is that
Yeah.
right? Yeah, beautiful. I should watch more of these, but this was, I think, maybe the first 5-star. Well, besides climax, but
Yeah.
a movie like this. I was so surprised. I knew nothing going in, and was so happily surprised with Cheatin'. So that's why it's so high on this list.
Yeah. My number 12 is Sonatine, a movie I definitely enjoyed watching quite a lot. Being able to just like get this like presentation of like a Yakuza movie, and then it's just a fucking beach episode where we're hanging out, waiting for orders, living life Yakuza style. It is a very nice time. It's very relaxed, despite about being like a gang of criminals.
Yeah.
It's one that I've been wanting to rewatch for a while to show like some of the other people I know, but just have not gotten to.
Yeah.
But I would definitely give this one a rewatch too. Again, like I think this was like one of the first movies we watched too for the pod.
Yeah, I think so.
It's very early on.
Pretty early. Yeah.
Number 11.
Number 11th, The 13th Floor, 1999. Came out the same year as The Matrix.
2 weeks apart.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
A movie about virtual reality. I like this. I like any of that type of thing where you kind of you have characters that are forced to deal with the fact that they're not real and that their creator is quite literally just a creator of a thing. You are just a thing. You are just code. So D'Onofrio's character is so good in this, and like you said, his performance is fantastic. But I really like how he eventually breaks out of there, and it plays with like, who is like the creator? Are you created? And then the twist that this is another level. Like there's levels and layers to it. This is like a perfect sci-fi movie. I bought this on VHS the day after we watched it for the podcast because I fucking loved it so much. I went on eBay, found this shit for $8.
Oh.
Yeah, like imagine the rewatch on VHS. It's just gonna be perfect nighttime. Like my favorite thing about some of these movies just beg to be on VHS because of aspect ratio, quality, things like that. But just being able to like
just being in
physically
like really
push
in that time frame, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it just makes the whole experience feel like a little more connected, I guess. And I'm sure a lot of people who like VHS can probably kind of get what I'm saying. It's just this movie begged to be on VHS, so I have it. I love it. I recommend it. It's on Tubi for free, I think.
Yeah.
But goddamn, I was again surprised by this one. I thought I was gonna like it, but it's such a solidly packed, tightly packed sci-fi movie. It doesn't go over the top with the Matrix of it all. It never gets too Tron-y. It never gets like it's pretty grounded for being like such an epic sci-fi thing. It's still just kind of following characters. So.
Yeah, it does a lot by keeping it from doing a lot.
Yeah, it's not people shooting lasers at each other. It's cool. Anyway, 13th Floor.
My number 11 is Pastoral: To Die in the Country, which was a very interesting watch, especially again like being lost in like the director's own story and like him grappling with his own like past and wanting to be able to like go back and do things differently, change things narratively, but then by the end of the movie coming to terms with like maybe that would just kill myself. Maybe I would kill myself doing that. So I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's a very good fucking movie. And certainly one that also feels very dreamlike, especially when the director of the movie in the movie goes into the movie just unannounced, just drops in, starts talking to himself. And just going that whole route. I dug the hell out of it. number 10.
Number 10. Let's get to the top 10.
Top 10.
This is a movie that this has grown on me so much, and it's the only reason it's so high up, because I felt so wrong having it so low, and that is Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
I noticed that it hasn't popped up yet, and only by the time we had gotten to like number 18, I was like, he hasn't talked about Twin Peaks yet, and he really didn't like that when we talked about it.
That's the craziest, and I didn't, and I'm chalking it up a little bit to watching the first 2 seasons of Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
When this came out, supposedly, I know, obviously, I learned all of this after the fact. But when it came out, everybody at like the premiere, was a con music or movie festival, whatever, he kind of hated it. Kind of got some boos. It got bad reactions, and like as a follow up, obviously it's a prequel, but a follow up to Twin Peaks, it is different, and it's so much darker, and it doesn't really have like the same charms that Twin Peaks has, and that everybody loves Twin Peaks for.
Yeah.
However, it's still a fucking fantastic movie, and I feel like if I can, now that I can separate it a little bit more from like I had just watched the first 2 seasons of Twin Peaks right into the movie, and I kind of wanted stuff from the movie that I didn't get. David Lynch doesn't just give you the things you want, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Go with what he is showing you, because he's showing you art, and it's always art, and it's so impressive in this movie. Watching anything Laura Palmer does is captivating, and her character is so interesting. She's a good actress and all that, but like her character is so interesting and a mystery that you just can't take your eyes off it. So this movie has grown exponentially for me. It's not my favorite David Lynch either by any means, but it's definitely worthy of being in the top 10. And
that's very good to hear.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, well, my number 10 is Tetsuo the Iron Man, a movie I rewatched pretty recently too, unrelated to podcasting. Okay. I was like sitting like waiting for like my friends to get on Discord so we can play games, and my brother joined in saying like, "Hey, check this out! I'm watching a movie." And he was watching Tetsuo the Iron Man, and it took my friends an hour to get ready for games, so I was just watching Tetsuo the Iron Man with him. And I was like, fuck it, I can count this as a Letterboxd log. That's my movie for the day.
Yes, sir.
And it's just it's again like so in your face, very aggressive, just 100 miles an hour from start to finish, and it's gross. Lots of just fucking scrap metal going into holes and stuff. It's a very insane fucking movie, and kind of a special one at that.
Can't agree more.
Yeah, it's one that I fucking adore. Number 9.
Number 9, I put Martyrs, and I'm actually really surprised it's this high up. I don't know if it really should be, to be honest with you. Because I'm trying to think of like all the good things I could say about it, and they all feel kind of wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the movie's so fucked up, and like, but it definitely is more than just a torture porn, like just for the sake of torture porn. There's a good movie behind it, and I don't think I can even fully explain why. And I think that's some of my favorite stuff is with some of these movies that usually are supposed to, kind of be like this is not okay to watch, but why is it a good movie? This is like a prime, I mean, people use it as the example a lot. Like, this shouldn't be as good. We're watching deplorable shit. We're watching just misery. Yeah. But there's some kind of glimmer of hope or something in it that draws you to it, that makes you like, I mean, it's pretty high on your list too. So like, it's hard to put that into words for me. So it's number 9 because I enjoyed watching it, but I don't really get it either. I don't really get why I like it so much.
Yeah. My number 9 is The Celebration, Festin, which I remember watching for the first time for the podcast. I have not seen it since, nor do I really ever want to again, because it is such a visceral experience. For a movie that is about family drama, the drama feels so fucking real and uncomfortable, I couldn't bear it. I was hiding in my shirt the whole time, as everybody's just screaming and yelling at each other, and then they're being racist. Everybody's just having the worst fucking night. It was truly an unforgiving and unforgettable watch. It's a movie I fucking love, but again, one that I'm just going to not try and rewatch anytime soon.
There you go.
Number 8.
Number 8, I have the remake of The Fly, the David Cronenberg?
Yeah,
that's his name. The one with Jeff Goldblum in it. Everyone's seen it. Everyone knows it. It's one of the best body horror movies I've ever seen. This was a rewatch. I'd seen it before the podcast, but the dialogue was really good. There was like a long scene of Jeff Goldblum kind of losing his shit as he's turning into this fly creature, and his brain starts kind of going too. He's like starts thinking in this kind of diluted, like animalistic way, and his long ass monologue there was so good on this watch that I didn't really remember how good he was in it. Like I remember the body horror and all that really great stuff, the movie that this movie is so remembered for, but it's also just so well made. I think it's David Cronenberg's best, as far as I've seen.
Yeah.
And it's The Fly. It's great. What else do I gotta say? I don't think much more.
My number 8, Dancer in the Dark, another movie I am going to try my best not to rewatch, because this movie is just one of the most devastating I've ever seen. I spent like 15 minutes, the last 15 minutes, I was just fucking crying and bubbling harder than I have in a bit. It is just one of the saddest movies I've ever seen. Bjork is fucking great. All the music elements in it too are like pretty astounding. And then it's just kicking you in the balls for like the last half hour. It's just again just one of the saddest ever. But it's one that I definitely really enjoyed.
Nice.
Number 7?
Number 7, I have Pastoral, or To Die in the Country. This movie was weird. I really like anything like that has like dream logic or dreamlikeness, like things that just would not make sense, but it happens and they just go with it. And this movie is that, and it blends real life and memories into this dreamlike scenario. A really interesting watch, something I'd like to digest a little bit more. And I bet it could probably even go higher on this list. But as a first time watch, I was so enthralled by it. Seemingly almost random things happen in this movie that end up kind of mattering in this kind of not niche but kind of unexpected story driven way. So yeah, I don't know anything about this director, but I know he seems to be as true form of an artist as kind of you get. Like he's just putting the things down that are flowing into his imagination. It doesn't feel like there's too many cooks in this kitchen. It feels like a singular vision that really just works really well. So I recommend it to anybody.
My number 7 is David Cronenberg's The Fly.
Yes, sir.
I watched that and the original like back to back. And also feeling very devastated by the ending of that movie. How abrupt and sad the ending of that movie is, watching Jeff Goldblum like fully transform into the Brundle Fly and just losing all humanity as he like physically just falls apart and just melts away into this just a fucking gross ass thing. On top of that, it just like, and just watching like the downfall from the beginning of like the fucking the teleportation experiment is also just fascinating as he like starts losing himself on top of physically falling apart.
Yeah.
Number 6,
I have Eraserhead, which I think a lot of these I've been ranking like the time that I watch them. Like this is just a high ranking because it's so high ranking. I don't even really remember the rewatch of it. I've seen this many times. Got the Criterion. It's just such a uniform vision that he took so long to make exactly how he wanted to make it. The sounds are so specific and haunting. The images, not even just of the baby, but just of anything, of pipes, of the environment, are all so like like physically like I could feel them. Like I feel like I'm in the world, and the world is. I love that it's not based in any real reality. It kind of feels like the entire world is inside of a factory
Yeah.
almost. It just the movie has so much of that dream logic that he's so good at. Like woman in the radiator, is his neighbor, but like why is he having visions of her as this? Like the whys don't seem to really matter in these kind of movies, and if you can let that all go, you're just gonna have a really fucking good time. Eraserhead is it would be so cool to have seen when it first came out with all these midnight showings of this movie and like
Yeah.
people flocking to it. Like what is this? Like this being completely an unknown thing must have hit so much even more weird and terrifying and nightmarish. Like you literally watched one of your own nightmares on screen.
Yeah.
That's what it can feel like to me. So that's why it's definitely top 10, but one of David Lynch. Not my favorite David Lynch either, to be honest with you, but really putting a stake, kind of a flag into the style
Yeah.
that he eventually made even more fluid and beautiful. But this is just like the flagship, perfect Lynchian horror nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah. My number
Yeah.
6 is Tommy, which I found like while watching it, just being washed over by again the operatics, the music, and just the non-stop energy Ken Russell like puts onto the screen. I dug the hell out of it. It was really like just blew me away
Yeah.
watching it. Where I was just so enthralled by the just how big the movie felt to me. It felt like such a huge piece of movie and just movie making and like what is possible in movies where like this is a sort of thing that gets made. I just couldn't it was a feeling that I don't get to feel very often when watching movies.
Right.
This one just hit such a special chord to me, I think.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Number 5.
Number 5, I have Dancer in the Dark, which we just talked about. Lars Van Trier's really sad, almost Dogma 95 esque.
Almost.
Like almost doesn't follow all the rules, but simply shot, sound design very simple, especially for a musical.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the music is not perfect. I mean, Bjork is such an interesting artist. That sometimes she's not even playing on the beat, and the fact that I think they must have let her have so much creative control because that weirdness doesn't come from too many people. So I know that she was kind of famously like kind of not abused, but like treated like shit on the set of this movie,
Yeah.
and she never wanted to act again after this one. But like that might have worked well for how she's such a cute character too. God damn, but like how terribly she gets it in life. She really gets fucked over at the end. And a couple of these songs I've listened to many times. She has them uploaded on Spotify as Selma songs. It's not even Dancer in the Dark soundtrack. It's just uploaded by Bjork called Selma Songs, and I've listened to a couple of them. But the one where she huge spoilers obviously for all these movies, of course,
Yeah.
but where she's walking to get hung, she's about to
Go to the gallows.
and the guard says it's like 109 steps So this next song is just footsteps. It's the beat of footsteps and then her singing random numbers as she's like 61, 65 as it's going
Yeah.
up, and that's all the song is. I've listened to that song so many times. It's nothing. It's a nothing burger of a song. It's just her singing some fucking, and I love it. And it's like accompanied along with like her obviously like walking to her execution. Just it shouldn't work as well as it does, but goddamn, it's just so depressing that it's hard not to love for some reason.
Yeah. My number 5 is Twin Peaks: Fire Walk with Me.
Yes, sir.
Another movie that it just greatly destroyed my evening the first time seeing it. Another one that is just despicably bleak and sad, but it does just it is just such an engrossing story, and Laura Palmer is just such an incredible character to follow, especially with the context of the first 2 seasons of Twin Peaks, and then being able to get the like some sort of like meaningful closure for Laura's character that the show never gets to go through itself, it being, you know, like about her murder, and then being able to go through her own Kurt Cobain last days.
Truly.
It makes her what is like my favorite David Lynch movie.
Hell yeah.
Number 4.
Number 4, recent watch, The Fall.
Yeah,
Directed by Tarsum. Tarsum. I really like this. We just talked about it. I haven't stopped thinking about it all week. Seriously, it's so good. So I'm glad Mubi picked it up. A lot more people apparently are watching it, and me included. This movie, the way that it blends the storytelling and then reality and then a child's imagination playing into what's really happening, characters dying in the story, characters wanting to die in real life. There's that epic moment at the end where he's killing off all the characters. That scene is like unforgettable. Maybe they're the best scenes in any of these movies. It hit me that good. I was sobbing my fucking little heart out. I loved The Fall. I will be rewatching it for a third time probably soon. I loved it, and Lee Pace is awesome. I'm in love. I'm in love with Lee Pace. I totally get the hype.
Yeah.
Go watch The Fall if you haven't seen it.
My number 4 controversial pick, the original The Fly.
It's high up there.
It's high up there, and it's higher than Cronenberg's, which everybody announces as the best of the two. But I have such a soft spot for this movie where I do just really fucking love the 50s sci-fi-ness of this movie. It's it's a genre movie that I definitely have such a soft spot for. I don't think I've seen like a really bad sci-fi movie from this time period. It does just have such like a charm to them.
Yeah.
In their lower budgets, but this one specifically feels like a prestige picture for the genre for me. Crazy to say about The Fly specifically, but it is one that is just one of my favorite fucking movies, and I was so glad to have seen it for the podcast.
Yes.
Watching the main scientist just, he doesn't even turn into the Fly, he just becomes the Fly. He just has the head and then just has to live in the basement like that
Totally
while
different.
they try and find the other Fly that got swapped with him.
Yeah.
And it just makes it's just such a different movie than what Cronenberg did, and I appreciate how different both those movies are.
Yeah.
Because if Cronenberg tried to do the same thing, then I feel like neither of these would feel that special.
Truly.
But
I will say,
go ahead.
I will add on to that is saying, like, no matter how many crazy things happen in Cronenberg's, like crazy visuals, right?
Yeah.
Nothing will be as memorable as the shitty fly at the end of this one.
Which I help
like,
me.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
nothing
it's
will like
fucking
prepare you. Like
insane.
that's
Yeah,
terrifying, but like also like not. It's nothing compared to Cronenberg, but it still hits way harder. I mean, maybe because of the time that it was in, but like
yeah,
you don't need a whole lot to really have a lasting effect. Like that last scene has had a lasting effect more than any of the David Cronenberg movie has, and I like that one more. So that's saying
yeah,
something.
yeah. Again, this is one of my just fucking. I think just and all. It's an all-time favorite for me, and I fucking love it a lot. Number three, final three.
And the final tree. Number three, I have Gummo, 1997's
Oh
Gummo
yeah,
by Harmony Korine, which you had way earlier.
yeah.
I thought maybe you had it higher up, but I fucking this is my shit. This is my shit. I own this one now as well.
I
Um,
haven't picked it up
it,
yet.
it's it's not the movie that really needs a 4K release now, does it? But whatever. Do whatever they want. This is such a dirty ass movie, and it feels so real. It feels like a guy with a camcorder went out to the small town, and just filmed the kind of lower vibration life forms that we all might know and love. There's something about this movie that reminds me of my hometown. Uh, I'm not saying we were all killing cats and shit like that, but like there there's like this undercurrent of like kind of poverty and uh community within that this movie taps into so well, but it's really just showing snippets of it. I mean, of horror, some horrifying shit too, how
Yeah,
they treat somebody with mental mental instability, paying somebody's caretaker so they could have sex with a girl who's not all there. It shows some of the most horrific shit, but that has this beautiful, like, slow kind of melancholy hopefulness strung through it. And there's a narration that towards the beginning that is just like this, like, really soft spoken, kind of dark toned precursor to like this story. uh I don't know, this one just hit me so well. I really really liked it. Never forget that kid eating the spaghetti in the bathtub.
yeah, yeah.
uh there's some images in this movie that are just so good. I'm glad I owned it. I actually watched it for the podcast and then rewatched it with a group of friends at a
Really?
party. We were at a Christmas party. We were all just getting together. It was like, should we throw a movie on? They also had Gummo, the Criterion
Oh,
of
okay.
Gummo. So a lot of people hadn't seen it, and they're like, "You guys want to watch this?" I'm like, "I fucking love that movie. I'm down." Definitely not a party movie. I
I
will
was
say
gonna
that
say,
much.
yeah, like we've talked about other party movies that would have been better, even like fucking Boarding House, maybe.
Yeah, maybe might be better. Yeah, fucking, I should have put on Chopping Mall
Oh
or
yeah, Meet
fucking
the
any
Feebles.
Gummo. Maybe not perfect, but like I don't know, it just taps into such a great wavelength. I really like Harmony Korine now because of this. I've seen a little bit more. I definitely want to see that Baby Invasion one.
That one's insane. I
Yeah,
love Baby Invasion.
yeah. There's some I want to see, but there's yeah. This is a good one. This is, I mean, top three for
Yeah.
sure.
My number three is Climax. The Gaspar Noé. I remember watching this for the first time and just really enjoying it the first go around. It being, again, just worst case scenario nightmare situation. Nobody's having a good time. And then being able to rewatch it, I'm just fully fucking in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love this movie to death, which is also insane given that for the most part it is just me and you. In terms of people I know, my older brother seems to like it a lot, but I know
Yeah.
the people I work with are less kind to it.
Really? Okay.
They were told that it was going to be a musical, and instead they got
Okay.
just a bad acid trip.
Yeah. Truly. Truly. Truly.
Number two.
All right. Number two, A Serious Man. A Serious
Hell
Man.
yeah.
I hadn't seen this one. This is less of a weird movie. As far as some of these go, I think
Yeah.
it's a little more uh just movie, not so weird. But Coen Brothers probably their best, making a movie that is even face value kind of about your existence and uh about your
Looking for
own.
answers. This is my
Yeah.
number 2, by the way, so I'm just also gonna chime in. This is
Oh,
also
please
my number
do.
2, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, just like everything's falling apart and you're getting no answers as to why, even though you didn't do anything. But again, that's just accept the mystery. That's the whole point. It's like this is
Yeah.
just what life does.
And
Fuck
it's
you.
such a it's a serious concept, but they do it in such like a dark comic way. Obviously it's
Yeah.
very comedic. It's not trying to like just kind of be subtle humor. It's full on humor. The
Yeah.
what like the rabbi is like saying to him while he's looking for some kind of solace, and he gets none, and he just kind of gets slapped
Over and over
with
again, just like look. You just need perspective. Look at the parking lot. And
yeah.
like, hey, here's a story about the goey's teeth, and it goes absolutely nowhere.
Right. It's just yeah. It's done very well in that
Yeah, no,
in that
this is
regard.
this is one of my favorite Coen Brother movies too. And again, it is just so darkly funny. Just watching this guy's life just fall apart due to no fault of his own, but also to the fault of him kind of being a pushover a little bit.
Yeah.
But I fucking Cy Abelman is like one of my favorite Coen characters. For
He's
as
such a
little
great
as
character.
for as little screen time as he has, I can never forget the outfits he's wearing or just the soft spoken just Larry, we need to
Yeah.
talk.
I love a good Jewish movie, you know. That's it's good. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Number
I
one?
love my Jewish friends. Number one, and I feel like this is cheap, but it's Climax. I know like that's the movie we started episode
It's
0
it's not
with.
on it's
The
not even
Climax.
on the list. It's not on the Weirdo Watch list, but we needed an entry point.
Is it really not? I thought it was.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's funny. So maybe that shouldn't even count anyway. But that's
I
what I
put
have
it
as
in.
number one.
This is
Uh,
the podcast list.
it's just, I love Climax so much. The first time I watched it was just fucking it. I was blown away how the movie ended and made me want to rewatch it because it ends with kind of the same way that it sort of begins. You see a girl at the beginning crawling through the snow, leaving a trail of blood, and they just don't tell you anything about it. They just don't tell you anything about it, and that's how the movie ends. Makes you want to pop it right back on, and that's exactly what I did. I watched it literally, but boom, they throw the credits in the middle of this movie
Yeah.
in a very stylized way, and then the last half of the movie being an unbroken take, like what 45 minutes maybe of a take, and it's just a fucking hell trip, and I just love it. I if you could just get along on the ride. It plays with music so perfectly well. It plays with the camera in really interesting ways, in ways that like amplify this horrible trip that everybody is having. Um, God, this is one of my favorite movies just in general of all time. And I don't know how many people I could really recommend and say like
It's
you're
a
gonna
hard
love this as much as
recommendation. Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You know, you're not
It's
gonna.
it's real
But
freak shit cinema.
yeah, but I know plenty. I know a few people that love it.
Yeah.
The guy who lent me this, shouts out my buddy James. He lent me probably 3 or 4 of these movies on this list. At the same time, he lent me Climax and Alice. So if that's the type of person this guy is, shouts out James. He's got some good
Shouts out.
fucking movies on DVD. But that's the first time I watched it. Fucking loved it. That's my list. What's your number one? I
My
know what
number
it is.
one, Freddy Got Fingered, baby. Genuinely what I think to be one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. I know you have issues rewatching it, but when I rewatched it for the pod, it was like the 5th time I had seen it. And the only times I had seen it with other people were for film club and to show my brother. and I had seen the movie once before by myself, and then twice. I've seen this movie 5 fucking times over the years I've been on Letterboxd. And the first time I seen it, I had no idea like what even the fuck to think about it. So I just 5 stars regardless. I was like, I can't put a number on this. Fuck you, it's 5. And then just only been reaffirming every time that no, I do just think this movie is hilarious and kind of just comedy gold. I'll say I won't say comedy genius because that's very subjective, but comedy gold.
Definitely.
It's a big favorite. It's a big favorite for me.
I'm happy you loved it.
Yeah. So that's
our ranking.
That's the entire ranking.
Movies.
55 movies in a little over 2 hours.
I feel like I want to post something on Facebook just asking my Facebook friends, how many of these movies have you seen? Like, give me a checklist, because I feel like there's so many movies in here that I would have never ever seen.
Most of these, yeah.
So many of them, like I would never even heard of, or like the Hercules one. Like I really like that movie, but like Hercules, specifically the one from 1983, I probably would have never even
Yeah,
it's such a nothing. Like, nobody's rewatching this kind of shit, are they?
That's the antithesis of the podcast. That's what I wanted to get out of it. Just an excuse to watch shit no one's ever heard of, and hopefully get other people to watch it too.
Yes.
Again, that way, like, the original pitch that I gave myself for doing this was I wanted to do a movie podcast, but not be stuck to talking about fucking Marvel and Star Wars and DC for an hour and a half. That sounds dreadful. And I wanted to watch some just fucking weird shit and see what happens. And look what's happened.
My question for you is, did you like the wheel? I know sometimes we got some bad things in the wheel. Do you miss doing the wheel? Do you miss kind of the randomness?
I do miss the wheel. It was the first. It was a bit we settled on, with the only drawbacks being like how fucking big the Weirdo Watchlist is and how many things are just
true
unwatchable in terms of like just wanting to watch it, and just things that finding it and just being able to squeeze at least 40 minutes of conversation into some of these movies is way harder than either of us could anticipate. So that's those are like the only two downsides, and I do miss being able to something like, Christ, I just closed out of the list. Here it is. Yeah, something like, Exterminating Angels, Survive Style 5+, just movies that I wouldn't have picked off the cuff compared to other movies like Southland Tales,
Right.
So I do miss that, being able.
See, what I miss about the wheel a little bit is that when it hits, it's very satisfying. Hits fucking hard, because it is random, but so many times it's not gonna hit, and you're gonna get Ring Zero, and you're gonna get
Valley of the Gods, Volver.
Like they are weird movies, but I need my Weirdo watch list to have some kind of accountability. Okay, it needs to be weird and good.
Yeah.
So
quality.
Maybe our mission. Yeah. Maybe our mission here is to make the list a little slimmer. We got to talk to Tyler, get our creative juices going. But hell yeah, I'm really glad we're doing this.
It's been fun. More. It's been fun. Yeah, to 50 more, to 1 billion more. There's not that movies in the list, but I'll tell you what, we can watch for next episode.
So, you picked one for.
Yes.
Okay, fucking tell me what it is.
This was spurred on because me and my coworker were talking about Boarding House, and he thought that I was talking about a different movie called Deathbed, and I was like, no, what the fuck is that? And it was like, I don't know, let's look it up. And I look it up, and the title of the movie is Deathbed, The Bed That Eats. from 1977, and it's 77 minutes long. It has a Letterboxd rating curve similar to Freddy Got Fingered, where it is all over the place. And I have one friend who has seen it, and he rated it 4 stars.
Shit, I have one friend that's seen it and also rated it 4 stars.
And it is on YouTube also. I looked this up beforehand. It is on YouTube in its entirety.
Okay.
So that's what I'm picking. It's not The Wicker Man with Nick Cage, you know? Good. But this one I did feel a sense of urgency with. Off title alone.
This feels good. This feels like the type of thing we should be watching.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. We'll see in the next episode. 51.
Episode 51. Any final thoughts out of you?
No. How long have we been going on this one?
2 hours and 14 minutes.
God damn, I did not know if we were going to do half hour or 2 hours and 50 minutes, but here we are.
I knew we were going to run long. But I thought run long would have been an hour ago.
Yeah, well...
So,
we have more to say.
Hey, you know what? I don't gotta upload this until like fucking 2 weeks from now or something. So
that's right. I'll be on my little road trip by the time this comes out, probably.
Yeah. Well, enjoy your vacation, and you audience, enjoy watching movies. Nothing.
Yeah, watch
nothing
Deathbed.
Hurts. Watch Deathbed, the bed that eats. It's 77 minutes. What could go wrong?
Yeah, put a comment on this video on what you think about Deathbed. Maybe we'll bring up your comment. How fun would it be if other people watched a random ass movie? Doesn't it sound interesting to watch a random ass movie called Deathbed, the bed that eats?
Yeah. Who would have heard of this? Not me.
And the shitty thing is, watching those types of things kind of by yourself, not that great. Watching it with a couple buddies like Mikey and Sam, it might be the way to do it.
You can listen to us talk about it and agree with our opinions.
Yeah, if you don't agree, then you can't watch anymore.
You gotta quit. You gotta unsub.
Fake.
Thank you everybody for watching. This has been the Weirdo Watchlist Podcast, episode 50, big celebration episode. Thank you everybody for watching along and watching movies and being a part of the experience. We'll see you in the next episode for Deathbed, the Bed That Eats. Thank you and goodbye.